In a world where everyone and their brother has a podcast, one stands alone. It's been called one of the podcasts of all time. Welcome to Internet Killed the Video Store.
That's the thing that sucks with TV. I never really wanted to do TV because it's so, like...
Yeah, you're talking about it mid-season.
Mercurial, yeah. Like, it can change.
Yeah. People listen back on it. It's like, this guy's such a dumbass.
You were so stoked for that, what was it, Tokyo Vice?
Right?
You're like, that first episode was great. And then you're just, no, never mind.
Yeah. I feel like I've gotten better about... There was a phase there. There was a stint of me just doubling back on stuff so easily. It would happen often, I feel like, that I would come back the week after and say, no, I was wrong about what I said last week. Gotta watch my takes.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever, like, blown through this much TV at once. May was a blur of TV festivities.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that we weren't really talking about TV on this show.
Yeah.
Just because you weren't engaging with that so much. But I like that we're talking about TV because, I don't know. I mean, this year it's probably seems like maybe that's the more interesting stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Just based on where movies are at this point.
No, for me, it's always just been a format preference. Like, I like movies more than TV. But
I know you do, yeah.
It's very obviously, like, that's where the concentration of creative growth is right now. Like, if we did a May show just movies, it was just, Little Mermaid and Fast X.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care about Vin Diesel's new beef.
No, Yeah, I liked the Fast stuff for a little bit, but I don't care about it anymore.
I forgot which one I stopped on.
I never watched any of them.
The last one I saw, The Rock flexed his arm out of a cast, and I was like, okay, this seems like a good exit ramp.
That's funny. That was the one that I liked.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't seen any of them in so long.
Because of that scene.
I think that's like the 6th or 7th. That scene's hilarious. Yeah.
It is hilarious. Yeah.
There's a bunch of really funny stuff that happens in that movie.
So yeah, where do we want to start in this whole TV madness? I think the only thing I know for sure we've all three seen is I Think You Should Leave. Should we just dive right in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. So I already talked to Ben a little bit about this offline. What were your thoughts on this, Max? Let's see if you align with us.
Well, I did already see your post about it, your overall ranking.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. I was pretty impressed by the turnaround on that.
I know. That was ridiculous. Did you have AI do that?
I did, yeah. That's all chat.
I was like,
I don't know.
Did Ryan get press screenings for this?
Yeah, that was really well done, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I think you're probably right. I think most of them are bottom tier, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are a few cool ones, but it's not like, I don't know if any of them are really my favorites.
Yeah.
You know? And I just went back and watched all of season 1 and season 2 recently and was like still pretty entertained by a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that we've like outgrown that type of comedy, which can happen, you know, some of the Tim and Eric stuff you go back to and it's like, God, I was fucking weird when I was in my early 20s.
Right.
I think I was missing some of the regular people. You know, it was a lot of Tim being like hyper aggressive.
Yeah, it felt like a big
like maybe more
of Tim.
yelling than any other season from him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there were still some good regulars from other seasons, but like Patty Harrison, I think is her name.
Yeah. She's awesome.
She was barely in it, and she's probably my favorite person in the show.
Yeah. I felt like there were a lot of really funny, like, premises.
Yep.
Like, the zipline thing was my favorite.
Well, that one I think is actually pretty good through and through.
Yeah.
That's probably at the level of the other stuff, I think.
But, like, I'm trying to think. Like, the Jelly Bean sketch where he's doing, like, the silent theater or, like, where he's trying to record stuff on the laugh track. Like those two sketches were funny, but I didn't feel like it had any of the like good funny lines. Like they didn't have the funny little details that made the old ones so much better.
There was some of that missing. It stands out because I can remember some of the few that were there, like in the sketch with Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
When he's pranking his kids, he mentions some other company called Jump Junkies.
Right.
And yeah, it made me realize, oh man, we're missing some of this great, like, you know, naming stuff from the other seasons.
Yeah.
Just offhanded remarks. And also just, I mean, something like Jamie Taco.
Right.
Is
Yup.
still pretty great.
Right. Or like the Corncob TV. You can tell he's sitting there doing so many line reads of the same stuff and like just getting varying takes on it. And it didn't feel like you had that variety.
Yeah.
The Fred Armisen one, like I was hoping there was going to be like more to it. Like show me the company that's making these videos. Show me why he's being embarrassed by his kids. But he's just like, this fucking sucks and it's over.
It needed a follow-up sketch.
Yeah.
Jump Junkies is a funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to
see what you're
see
saying
Jump
there.
Junkies.
Right. They could have done a whole nother sketch on that.
Yeah, they only did that once this season with the...
It was Zipline.
Yeah, Zipline came back.
Okay.
Because
that's
Dan
what it was.
Flashes had a follow-up.
Yeah.
Hot Dog
Yeah.
choking had a follow-up. But dude, I went back to rewatch a lot of these. I've probably watched season 3 times now, and it actually grew on me.
Yeah, this
Oh, yeah?
season.
Yeah, it definitely grew on me. It's kind of like Ryan said, where like I didn't laugh out loud like I did in the first two right away, but the premises that caught on, I think, and made me laugh. Like the laugh track one, I didn't think it was that funny at first, and then the third time he's like, TK Jewelers is a scam. I was like, that's funny.
That one I was on board from the beginning. That's another pretty high up on my list. Did you guys make like a short list of top sketches?
from
For
that season.
All time, or are we just doing season 3?
Just season 3. Do you have a few that are
Yeah.
top tier?
Yeah, my two favorite were the Zipline and I really like Tim Meadows. I did not expect him
Oh my
to be
God.
like so good at being unhinged, dude, because he's
Who?
he's the ladies' man. He's so
the
smooth
party
and
one,
everything.
dude?
Yeah,
And it happens so fast.
I didn't like that one at first.
I loved it.
And then I was sitting there again, and somebody said Barney.
Yeah,
And I started cracking up. And I was like, I'm Barney. And I was like, that was a funny sketch.
yeah. There should have been a drinking game with how many times Tim snuck "what the hell" into a sketch. I feel like he said that every episode.
Yeah.
But the egg game, that was my favorite delivery.
Yeah, egg game.
The hell, it's got a bush.
No, this is this is a nude egg I want for my game.
That was great.
That was,
That was
really
a good one. Yeah.
What's his name? Sam Richardson always just has the funniest names. That like wrestling park where the guy's name was Toilet Truck. That was great.
And Baby Duck.
Yeah. I didn't love that sketch, but I always loved Sam. And Wall of Metal.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a B+, but it could have been the best. I mean, I thought he was doing a great job, and conceptually it was really good. It was just, it took too long to go anywhere. Like the guy slipping on the wall just wasn't really that funny.
Yeah.
I think the volcano one
Oh,
is
yeah.
pretty high up for me.
Like,
just
yeah.
because it actually goes somewhere when he
Yeah.
touches her or whatever, and
That was
she
solid.
sees the world how he sees it. That was good.
Yeah, dude.
Another one that's like, it's a bit straightforward, but the drive-through one.
That's top 5 for season 3 for me.
Yeah.
I did feel like we had one breakout star in the Banana Breath HR meeting. That lady cracked me the fuck up. But we didn't have a lot of like biff whiff breakouts. It was a lot of repeating people that just had like little minor things.
Yeah. Too
She-
much Tim, though, for real.
Yeah.
Biff made it back, which
Yeah.
was cool.
That was
Shirt
great.
Brothers grew on me, too. I'd watch it like 5 times, but
So
I've been seeing him a lot lately.
I made the
So,
joke that
it's
that
awesome.
song from the Shirt Brothers sketch sounded like a Turnstile song, and then I saw Pitchfork posted an article that it literally is Turnstile recorded a song for the episode.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking about that in our chat. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're good friends, I guess, dude.
No rules.
That's cool.
The driving crooner grew on me, too. First time I watched it, I was like, not the punchline I was hoping for, but the more I watched it, I'm just like, that's so fucking stupid.
That one, it just felt like he was just rapid fire. Like, all right, I need to spit as many memes out as I can in this sketch. I'm so sick of this.
I gotta find out how to make money off this thing. I don't know, man. I do think that, I don't know if he was just trying to be a meme in every single one, because, like, his popularity has grown a little bit because some of the shit has gone viral on like Instagram Reels and stuff like that. So he was being like a little more obnoxious when I feel like it didn't call for it.
Yeah.
At certain times, so it felt forced. A lot of facial expressions. He was doing a lot of weird shit with his face, which I think he does really well, but it wasn't like every single sketch. And like I don't need that in every single one.
Yeah.
There's probably a bit of that. I mean, you can't help but be aware of that, and there probably is some pressure to, get some memes going for your show.
Yeah.
It did kind of have the feeling of like, I don't know, the whole like sensation of discovering a band and like going through their back catalog, and then they put out a new album and you're like, well, this isn't as good as their old stuff. And I was hoping I wasn't doing that, so I watched it again and I was like, no, it just isn't as good, you know? They just have like that whole overlap. Like they can only take place in like 5 areas. It's either an office space, an infomercial, a game show, a house party, or a dinner. Like that's it.
I wish they would expand on that for sure.
They got to branch out.
Yeah. I mean, season 2, Carl Havoc, that's unique in its own way.
Yeah.
The hot dog crashing the car, that's unique. I feel like this was a lot of repeat of the same settings, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is somewhat of an issue. I kind of found myself sitting and hoping that each sketch would be an office sketch because I felt like there weren't a lot of those, or maybe the ones they had were not my favorites.
Yeah.
And I love those. I think those are some of the best that they've done.
Yeah, we got a mix of them because there was some really good ones like the banana breath one and the egg game. But yeah, like I kept wanting the Rat Mom to go somewhere a little further. Like that one didn't really develop all that much.
The party, the surprise party, which was kind of an office thing, that was a huge letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking all time then? What do you guys like gold medal stand?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't even know.
Hot dog.
It's tough.
Hot dog's
hot
right
dog.
there?
It's the
so
first one I
good.
show to everyone.
Wait. When you say hot dog, which hot dog? When
Crashing the hot dog in.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
The hot dog car.
I thought you meant the HD vac.
No, but the prequel to HD Back's really good.
Yeah.
That's in there too for me. But yeah, man, if you want to show somebody, and I think you should leave sketch, hot dog car is like what I would open someone up to because it's got everything in it. It's got the laugh out loud shit, the subtle humor where everyone like starts turning and like taking Tim's side. So it's got so much shit in there. It's so good.
Yeah, it's like a stealth way of sneaking the show into people's view because the first joke is like pretty funny and also not offensive in any way, like easy to understand, and by the end of it he's just naming porn websites as he's picking up all these clothes. It's the best.
And he gets so entrenched into like this lie, which is like what so much of the show is.
Yeah, he didn't really do a lot of lies this season. That's true.
Nope.
We didn't get a lot of Tim lies.
Like the loaded nachos, that just blatant lie he's trying to work his way out of.
Yeah.
I was trying to go back and forth because I know you mentioned Tim and Eric, and they like veered way off into left field with like the bedtime story stuff after a while.
Yeah, sure.
And like I would definitely take like repeats of I think you should leave bits as to like going way off and just trying something weird and different like Tim and Eric did. Because I didn't like the bedtime story stuff at all. I don't know if you did.
I didn't love it, but I don't know if I would just want to see, like, you're saying you would be okay with season 4 being this level of quality.
I'm saying I'm more pleased with season 3 being like kind of like reheated leftovers instead of like trying to do something that just kind of wrecks the formula of the show.
But if it continued this way, would you be satisfied, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of that thing like even at his worst, he's still better than most. Is my philosophy, at least. Like, I'm happy with it. If I get an egg game sketch every couple of years, I'd be satisfied. Like, it wouldn't be my favorite show like the first 2 seasons were, but still gonna watch it more than I'm ever gonna watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I'd still watch it, but honestly, I think that I enjoyed less than 50% of the season.
Dang.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot of that is expectations, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so maybe
maybe
now that my expectations are lower, I would be fine with an okay season 4. But I did find myself thinking, like, they need, and not just in the sense of, like, new locations or whatever, but maybe they need to try some different stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But that's not for every writer. I mean, some people just have their thing they do, and they do it well. And I think you could argue that, like, maybe that was Tim and Eric a little bit. I don't know. Whatever.
There were a lot of skits or sketches in
Either
season
way.
1 and 2, where Tim was like playing a normal guy. And there were other people that were like butt of the joke or like supposed to be the
Yeah.
insane ones. And
Yeah.
that could work too. And there wasn't as much of that in season 3 either, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he just needs like a regular cast of returning or like supporting characters. Like you do have Sam Richardson who shows up in like 2 or 3 sketches, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he needs some regulars to like expand and I don't know, bounce ideas off of, so it's not all hinging on him just going crazy every sketch.
Since the show is so like clicky, like the fans that do like it like obsess over it almost.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if he could like take some Easter eggs. I guess it wouldn't be Easter eggs, but some things from like season 1 and 2 and like kind of sprinkle them throughout. Like if he was wearing a Dan Flasher shirt in
Like
season
returning
3,
stuff, yeah.
yeah, but maybe not even make a joke about it. Just his character's wearing a Dan Flasher shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. I think would be cool. It'd be like, I'd get me stoked if I saw it.
I was just gonna say, I felt like that was another thing too. Like it seemed, maybe I'm being overly picky, like almost the production details weren't as finite as they were in the first 2 seasons, where I felt like the edits and the cuts almost served as a punchline as much as some of the lines did. Where this time it felt like a lot of the sketches went on, like that the Barley Tonight, the first sketch. Like it's super funny, it starts off, and then it
Yep.
just feels like it goes for like 40 seconds too long.
He starts talking about his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but then it just keeps going and
Yep.
going, and like I don't know, it didn't seem like there was as much attention to detail on that stuff, or even like you said, like the Dan Flash shirts and stuff. Just like the visuals of like the props and stuff they use. Like there's the weird Nixon dog, but other than that, there wasn't like a funny hot dog costume moment or anything.
Yep.
The Garfield house. from
Right,
season
right.
2.
Yeah, there's always all kinds of stuff like that where it's just, I don't know. And it's kind of like what you were saying with the dating show. Like they just nail the production quality so realistic that it makes it all the more funny when something ridiculous happens.
Yeah. Because they're using that filmic language from that
Right.
we know from those shows.
Yeah. So you can see the whole list of every I think you should leave sketch ranked from, I think it's like 1 to 79. internetkilledthevideostore.com. That's what we should make the stakes. Whoever loses the box office thing has to do all the plugs of like, welcome to the show. Go to our Instagram and Twitter. Blah, blah.
That's rough. That could have been yours.
It still can be my punishment.
It still can.
I'm hinging on the Flash. So where do we want to go next? Have you watched any of these other shows, Ben? You sitting out?
No.
Earmuff? So I know you already told me you didn't watch Barry. Why don't you give me your explanation why you're avoiding the Barry finale, Max?
Well, you know how I usually like when shows change completely,
Yeah.
like halfway through. And Barry has definitely accomplished that. It's very different from where it started. But the end of season 3, I think,
Yeah.
was just pretty dark, like at a pretty dark point for most of the characters in that show. And it's just, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that, but probably getting darker from there.
Yeah.
And that's just not, for whatever reason, what I'm wanting to watch right now.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, especially like that's the big debate. Like, is this show a comedy or what is this show? It's very light on comedy this season. I would say that.
Yeah, it's always been a dark comedy, and that's what makes it work. That's how he can kind of go into the more action and dramatic stuff that they've been doing all along.
Yeah.
But like, characters have just crossed lines that you don't want them to cross, you know?
Yeah.
Damn, are you serious?
Yeah.
You ruined it for me, man. I only watched season 1 and 2.
We told you earmuffs.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? I didn't know what that comment meant.
And all he said is like character.
Can I-
Like what?
Yeah.
That wasn't a spoiler, was it?
A kind of.
People do bad things. Oh,
Tell me,
shit.
tell me when you're done.
Blew the show.
I can still hear you, though. It doesn't even fucking work.
No, I won't say anything because Max hasn't seen the last season. All I want to say is, like, it's very easy because the cast is stacked with, you know, Fonzie and Stephen Root. But yeah, I just wanted to say that Sarah Goldberg is awesome in this show. I feel like she doesn't get any credit. This
Oh.
season, she's even better. Like, she definitely should be getting some award credit for this season because she was my favorite part. That was kind of what kept me going through it all. So,
Awesome. Yeah,
That's-
she was great in season 3. So
yeah, I'll keep it to that. I won't give any spoilers. Where's Bill Hader on your SNL power rankings, Max? Since you said Molly Shannon's at the top.
he's high up.
Yeah.
Probably top 3 for me. I would
Wow,
think.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, top 3 or top 5. Yeah,
He's
I think
great.
he's great. He's done a lot of good movie stuff. The stuff he's doing on Barry alone, I think, is more than what I can think of for most SNL cast members. But it's hard to think about everyone at the same time. I'm sure that I'm always like fucking up when I make these like broad pronouncements in this way.
I was gonna have the hot take and say he's top 5, but you one-upped me. Mine just seems like wimpy now.
Yeah. I mean, who else would you have up there?
I don't know. It's hard for me not to say Will Ferrell. Just I know that his recent movie stuff is not great, but just all the sketches he had on the show and like peak Will Ferrell movies are so fucking just iconic.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there was definitely a time where I thought he was the funniest person off that show. And yeah, I laughed at his movies and other stuff he's done a whole lot. And I think it's cool that he's done, what was it? Funny or Die? Was that his website? Or
Yeah, him and Adam
okay.
McKay, I think, started it.
yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, it's hard to we do this a lot. We make a lot of top 5s, but it's so hard to do because you got to take so much stuff into consideration.
All right, where are we shifting now? Ben, have you seen Yellowjackets or Succession?
No.
On both?
Correct.
Okay, which do you want either of them spoiled?
No.
Do you need to go pee?
Yeah, I'll go pee.
Okay, go pee. All right, Max, in a pee break, describe every feeling you felt watching the final season of Succession. Go.
Every emotion I felt, like, I don't know, man.
No.
It was great. It was just, man, it really felt like a final act to the show.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it's been a bit repetitive at times, and apparently, like, I don't know if this is true. I heard that they didn't even know for sure it would be the end of the show until after they filmed it.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. No, I
Or
didn't
maybe
know that.
after they wrote it, or that was just impressive to me. And clearly I think they picked the right time, with that being said, because yeah, I don't know where you would go from here. It's a great ending to the show.
Yeah.
Probably not my favorite season overall,
Yeah.
but I think there were some good payoffs in it. Just getting to see the 3 kids like doing stuff that we hadn't seen them do before, you know, with Brian Cox out of the picture and Logan dead. Like, arguably, this is when the show actually becomes Succession. Like, it
Right.
was never really about that until this point.
Yeah.
I was really just impressed with everyone's acting, the score this season.
Yeah.
I love when someone writes such a good piece of music from square one that they can just keep using it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
There's
gets-
so many good variations of it.
Yeah.
That was definitely a glaring omission from our best theme songs from like
Oh.
4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, gosh.
Succession.
There we
theme
go
song.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. What overall thoughts from you? What did you think?
I think I finally realized, like, I was kind of back and forth on this show, to be honest, the first couple seasons. I think it peaked with season 3, where I was finally like, okay, this is the show declaring itself what it is. And I think I realized it's almost kind of like a throwback. Like, a lot of classic TV shows were basically just, let's give you some really interesting characters and have really good performers go out and flesh them out. And
Yeah.
the plot is kind of secondary. And I think I realized that's how I
Yeah.
feel about this show. Like, the cast is so good that even though like some of the writing of the actual events is a little overwritten, and this like symbolism with the eye wash on election night was a little heavy-handed, like I didn't really care. I just liked hanging out and seeing how these characters reacted to all this stuff.
Yeah.
I thought Rory Culkin, Kieran Culkin, he's always been like just the comic relief in all this, but I thought he was fucking great. Like the breakdown at the
yeah.
funeral was incredible. Like that whole episode, he was incredible, man. Just blew me away.
Yeah. He gets MVP for this season, I think.
Did you think they killed Logan off too soon? What did you think
No.
about how they handled that?
No, I mean, I thought it was really bold to do that in a cool way because it really is kind of a different show without him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember where I was at, but I went back at some point before finishing this season, but after he had died, and watched some old, just like clips from episodes that I like. And just even seeing him again after a few episodes without him was like, oh yeah, this was a different show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Like you're saying, it's all about the performers, and he got more time than anybody. And I liked getting to see, we wouldn't maybe be talking about Kieran Culkin in this way if they hadn't devoted screen time to building that character and showing all the different dimensions that he could show this season.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing I was also a little conflicted on was the whole Tom and Greg dynamic, which they've been like incredible this whole show, and then they have this kind of confrontation at the end, and it felt a little fan servicey to have them like reconcile to me at the end after, cousin Greg kind of slips Tom's plan to the siblings. So I wasn't sure if that totally fit in, but again, like I like those characters so much. I was glad to see them like not go out just like blowing up their relationship in the last 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, it's funny to think that might have just been too upsetting.
Right, exactly. Like we got to preserve these two. This is the thing we got to keep sacred in the Succession universe.
We're already dealing with enough. We can't also kill the Tom and Greg relationship. That's funny. All
right, do we want to go to shift to Yellowjackets?
Ben, do you care about Yellowjackets?
I don't know what that is.
Ben doesn't care about Yellowjackets.
No.
So let's start with you. What did you think of this season? All of the emotions that you felt.
All of the emotions. A little predictable. Like I kind of could tell we were going to get some cannibalism stuff this season eventually. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of drug out. Ooh. The second that I feel like the show lost me the second they tried to do like the Twin Peaks homage with the Caligula owl song, and I was just like, okay, what's going on now? And then the finale was just like the final gut punch where I was like, that just seems like somebody didn't want to come back for season 3. Like that did not make sense to me at all.
Yeah, that was a bit out of nowhere. Yeah, and I think that's the theme of like pretty much all your complaints. And yeah, I agree. Like, I think this show just does whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah.
And I don't really like that about it. Because, yeah, it pretty much always just plays as like poorly written, or I don't know. Some of the, I already don't like needle drops, but
they got bad this season.
Oh my gosh.
It was like needle drops cutting off other needle drops. It was
not even just that, but so many predictable choices. Like, did they not go and see the Batman?
Right.
Did they not even see a trailer for that movie? Because I'm pretty sure that movie owns that song for at least a little bit longer.
You got to let it breathe a little bit.
They played that song?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
And it was even like the version. It wasn't the version that's on Nevermind. It was the same version that the Batman used.
What?
Also, Zombie. Like,
that's been done to death, man.
But no.
And Zombie belongs to The Office. That's always going to be Andy Bernard sitting at his desk going, "It's in your head."
I don't even remember that.
That was my favorite.
I do now.
What?
But yeah, I didn't realize. So my sister's super into this show, and she says it's what all the dark CW shows think they are, which I feels like a pretty good description. But
yeah,
apparently there was some drama with Juliette Lewis in between seasons at like some convention. I don't know if you saw the interview where they asked her about like their characters, and basically that gets to Juliette Lewis, and she's kind of like, well, it's not really at all what I thought it was going to be, and this show's kind of fucking depressing, and just kind of like gets up and walks off stage.
What?
Damn.
And people were kind of reading into that, and then with the way this season ended, it's like, okay, maybe there was something there.
That's crazy.
It is dark. I can understand her like falling off of it, because they upped their game this season for sure.
Apparently she has like some history of like substance addiction, and so like having to, you know, relive that stuff on screen can be traumatizing and kind of reopen old wounds.
That's interesting because I always read it as like metacasting, you know?
Right.
Like purposeful.
It seemed that way, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I don't know what the conversations were like about what the role would be, what the show would be, but yeah, I mean, that's a bummer, and she is one of my favorite parts of the show. There's a pretty big chasm between some of the acting abilities of people in the show, I would say. Some people I think are straight up bad.
Yeah, especially the
like,
young cast.
There are definitely some of the younger actors that I think are not great. And I tend to be more interested and more comfortable in the later timeline in general. It's unfortunate because like nothing happened with those people this season.
Yeah.
It was like 7 episodes of getting them to the same place.
Right.
And it gets to a point where one character's husband even just has to be like, for no reason, you should go to the place where all of the other main characters are.
Right. Yeah, it got pretty silly. I was way more interested in the flashback stuff this season for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this is like one of the instances where the writer's strike hurts, because now I'm just like, I need season 3 as a palate cleanser, like as soon as possible, and I have no idea when that's gonna come now.
I'm still on board.
Yeah. No, it felt a little bit to me kind of like Stranger Things season 2, where it's like, did you guys just rush this out to try and hit like a release date, or like, are you going to take your time next time? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope they do, because I was a little more engaged with season 1, I think. I mean, if you're interested in the more mystery elements of the show, like, you didn't really get anything this season.
No.
Unless you're very into reading into stuff, which I'm not for this show, because I don't trust the writers not to completely fucking change shit, because they've already done that. I mean, they've retconned some stuff, and some of the stuff just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, not as high on that as I am on Succession.
Yeah, no, that was a bummer of a finale. Like I said, I was there, like, kind of just treading water, but yeah, once the Owl musical showed up, I was like, all right, I'm out.
I'm bummed, because I was, when that happened, I was like, Ryan's going to love this or hate it.
It's 50-50.
I liked it, because I just still kind of have a crush on Christina Ricci, and I think she's doing such a great job in this show.
So do I. I'm disappointed in her. That's why.
But every time she's on screen, she's just doing great. Like,
no,
I don't know.
I see that Christina Ricci, and I see Speed Racer Christina Ricci.
Oh, really? Dude, the moment where I don't know if you remember this, but she calls, what's his name? Elijah Wood's character.
Elijah Wood, yeah.
Yeah, when she leaves him the voice message.
Oh,
do you remember that part? That was unreal. Like, just the stuff she does in that scene is fucking great. Like, it's like the best 5 seconds of acting.
I think that's all the TV shows, right? You're still on board with Miss Davis. Season 6, I was kind of almost on board with it, but I was like, yeah, it's still all right.
So, Mrs. Davis, did you finish it?
I did. Yeah, or sorry, not season 6, episode 6, when they gave a little more backstory into what's going on with David Arquette. I was like, okay, now I'm starting to get the more parallel religious magician stuff going on here, but...
I feel pretty, like, probably not far off from where you are with it. I really liked it overall. I didn't think the ending was super satisfying. I didn't expect it to be super satisfying.
Yeah.
But they did some clever stuff that drew together not just the kind of more like emotional subtext that you're talking about, but also the parallels between like this AI governed reality basically, and like religion, and people giving themselves over to one or the other. I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, I like that. I think we are on like the month anniversary of the writer's strike, and the Screen Actors Guild just voted like 97% to strike also. So we're going to be like heading into a double strike.
Yeah.
Did you see the report that Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improvise during the filming of Deadpool 3 because he's credited as a writer? Like, they have to stick to exactly what's written.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an interesting little wrinkle.
Yeah.
So
that is interesting.
Shit's
Kinda
about to get weird
news for that movie.
Yeah, it's about to get real weird. I think the Directors Guild reached a deal, so the directors are okay getting paid with what they're getting paid, but
Cool. So they can all just like film each other fucking around
Yeah,
with their
they can go-
cameras and shit.
right.
A lot of really cool like behind the scenes movies.
I know all these actors and writers are scared of AI, but we'll direct the shit out of whatever AI stuff you want to deep fake. I mean,
Seriously, yeah. Is there an AI that tells me where to put the camera? I mean, come on.
were you surprised at all to see Oppenheimer get rated R?
Yeah, a little bit.
I was kind
But
of shocked.
also, I feel like Nolan leveled up, dude.
Yeah.
Like in his mind, he leveled up. He's like, people need to take me more seriously.
Is this his Oscar reach? Like he's got to tell like the big historical drama to go for an Oscar? Because you can't win an Oscar with a PG-13 movie.
Is that true?
For the most part, yeah. No, I think,
Yeah, I think he's going for it.
I
It
didn't
seems
realize
like
it was his first rated R since Insomnia. So like almost 20 years.
That's crazy.
You're yawning
Speaking of
so
insomnia,
much. You're just so tired. We're boring Ben to death.
it's like all this shit that I haven't watched.
All
Sorry,
these shows
it's
you
my
haven't
fault,
seen,
dude.
yeah.
Because I keep watching season fucking 3 of I Think You Should Leave and Patriot over and over.
What about music? You got any music you want to talk about?
Friday night was like, I knew you were drunk because you kept listening to that Turnstile song from that I Think You Should Leave sketch.
You just been listening to the sketch songs?
I kept listening to that song over and over, and I think I woke her up. I really liked it. It was Turnstile hasn't like been that. It was like they did a pop punk song, so I thought it was cool. I've never heard him do something like
She
that.
kick in the door and you're like, no rules! You just turned it up louder.
No, man, I was in bed right next to her playing on my phone. Honestly, I just been the MS Paint album's been on repeat for a while, and I played it more the week leading up to the show since we went to see him last night.
No.
So it's been a lot of that. I haven't listened to anything.
Where'd you guys see
too
him?
new?
What's it called? Is it the Bug House?
I almost said the Nest Egg.
The Nest Egg. We went to the Nest Egg.
It's
Where's
the Bug
that?
House.
The Gray's basement in
Yeah.
Fort Wayne.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
They just played Chicago. I
Did
wasn't
they?
able to go, but yeah,
Nice.
I was wanting to.
No, they put on a good show. It's been a while since we've been to a basement show, so we were kind of like, I know everything's inclusive with like genders and sexuality, but we're old and fat and balding. Is that allowed here?
I'm not balding, to be fair.
No. That's all me. There was a lot of birds' nests there, though. I felt very welcomed looking at everybody's bald spots in front of me.
Yeah, dude. I was texting Ryan before. I was like, is it weird that I feel so like nervous to go to something that's supposed to be inherently inclusive? Because like I was fucking nervous. I haven't been to a basement show in years, Max. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was a little puzzled at first, but I just like put myself in your shoes, and it's like, oh yeah, I felt that.
They could see each other every week at these fucking shows, and
Well,
like
yeah.
I come up kind of like Hometown Bari, where it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you in MySpace?
So you've been burning through records now that your semester's over. Has there been anything that's caught your eye, or is it all scaring the hose for you, Max?
It's not all scaring the hose. It's a lot of that.
I mean, it's borderline that for me. I don't know if anything's going to top it. That's far and away album of the year for me.
What is it?
Scaring the Hose, that JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown record we talked about.
Oh, I probably won't like it, huh?
You don't like Danny Brown's voice, I remember that, but production on it's solid.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the new Mac DeMarco has been pretty tight.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool. I mean, it's chill. It's a lot of the, it's kind of the same thing through the whole album, but I don't know. That guy just knows how to do stuff.
Yeah.
There's some cool riffs on there. Just some good melodies, some good catchy stuff, which I felt like has been missing from some of the other stuff I've been listening to.
I liked it. I don't know. I shouldn't hold it against it. I just missed his voice. I feel like that's such a good compliment to the weird stuff that he does. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted it in there, but that's not to say the stuff that was there wasn't as good. Like, I definitely liked it. I've gone back and listened to it, but yeah, it was solid. Yeah, I liked the new Foo Fighters. I was surprised. That one kind of blew me away after talking all that shit about them. It's definitely the best stuff they've put out, like, this side of the millennium, for sure.
That's crazy.
It was really good.
I need to listen to it.
This side of the millennium?
Right. Isn't that a wild statement?
I mean, I think their best stuff is Color and the Shape, and they're
to-
self-titled.
I'm trying to think of what millennium means real quick. I'm pretty sure that means
Post
like
2000,
2000.
yeah.
Okay, you didn't even fucking
Anything
guess.
before you knew who Eminem was.
Okay. Dang, that's still crazy though, man.
I mean, like I said, I like some of the singles, like
Uh-huh.
Learning to Fly and stuff, but I don't know. This stuff is just so so much more dense and like just instrumentally proficient. Hearing him play drums again was awesome. Like he's killing it. I don't know. I was a little apprehensive that it might feel like opportunistic to rush out a record so soon after Taylor died, but it's not that at all. It's done really subtly and really tastefully. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. I'll check it out. I'm a big fan of theirs. I do like obviously the earlier shit there. Like Learn to Fly is one of my favorite songs by them.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I like it. Like Times Like These and stuff, but this is like the most complete record I've heard him put out.
Okay.
Yeah, since the 90s. Because
your biggest like shit on these guys was that they never had a solid album front to back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this definitely feels more comprehensive in that way.
Okay. Cool. I'm excited to check that out.
All right, Ben, you got any recommendations besides the I Think You Should Leave Turnstile song?
Go listen to that song at least like 5 times, the 30-second clip that there is.
What's it called? Just No Rules?
No, it's called Listening. I don't want to go on listening. Yeah, that's what it's called. If you just type in Turnstile, I Think You Should Leave, it'll come up.
Catchy.
And then I tweeted at him, I was like, y'all need to like release this, but on every other I Think You Should Leave episode, I know a Vampire Weekend does that song in the end of Sloppy Steaks, Dangerous Nights.
Nice.
That's Vampire Weekend who makes that for this. And you can't find that song anywhere.
That one's good.
If you want to listen to it, you have to listen to like the audio track in the background of them being like, let's slap it up.
Right.
Like you can't find it. And I do love that song. That song got stuck in my head too.
Yeah.
Dangerous Night. You know what? They just need to make a fucking soundtrack. I think that'd be cool.
They should. Max, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'll recommend this show that I watched on Amazon Prime Freevee or something, and it was called Jury Duty. I think I told you guys about it a little bit. Kind of seems like something that Nathan Fielder would make. It's like, you know, kind of like cringy reality comedy in a way, but I think this is like a bit more wholesome, kind of.
Yeah.
They're not actively trying to make fun of the person in the show.
Gotcha.
That doesn't know that it's a show. To explain it a bit better, it's almost like Truman Show or something. There's just one person in this jury. He thinks it's a real trial. He thinks everyone there is who they say they are, even though they're actors. Except for James Marsden. If you know James Marsden, he's in it as himself.
Oh, gotcha.
And he's a pretty funny element of the show because he just kind of plays like the worst version of James Marsden. Like just him as like a very self-absorbed Hollywood type.
Nice.
That's cool that he can do that though.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch. I was just sucked in by like, okay, surely at some point this guy is going to realize what's going on because some of this stuff is so ridiculous. It's pretty amazing what they get away with and how long they keep it going. But
what's it called again?
I think Jury Duty.
Nice.
Yeah. Ryan?
I don't know. I actually watched the Mario Brothers movie and I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I've heard it wasn't that bad.
I feel like people just hate Chris Pratt and
They
they're
do.
just so mad that he got the Mario role.
People do hate Chris Pratt.
They do.
What?
Because he goes to church. That was it. That was the final straw.
I think that is what happened. He like prayed at
He went
one
to
of his
church.
things.
He's done.
Man, that's messed
Certain
up.
people hate Chris Pratt. Certain people love him like more than ever. You know?
I liked him in Parks and Rec. He's funny. Like he hasn't done anything in a movie that I don't like.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's great in Guardians.
He's fine.
We just know too much about people.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I do think it would have been funny though if they did a full-on super bad reunion for the Mario cast and had Jonah Hill as Mario, Michael Cera as Luigi, McLovin as Toad, and Emma Stone as Peach.
Oh my fucking god.
That would have
Where
been
did you get
so
that idea?
good, dude.
because I kept thinking Emma Stone was Peach and I was wrong, so I had to look it up. I was like, well, she should have been Emma Stone.
For more, visit internetkilledthevideostore.com.